What's up, gamers? Thanks for stopping by Gamers Inn, and today we're going to be taking a look at one of the newest first-person shooters to hit the scene. So go ahead and load up your mags, lock them in, and let's take a look at Valorant. Valorant was developed by Riot Games and fully released in June of 2020, making it one of the newest competitive shooters that you can play right now. Now, the game is marketed as a 5 vs 5 hero-based shooter, and in all honesty, it's the love child of Overwatch and Counter-Strike, with gameplay leaning more towards the Counter-Strike side of the table. There are currently 11 heroes that you can play as, some which do require you to unlock them, and each character is assigned one of 4 different roles, but have abilities that are unique to the hero that you select. Some of the abilities may have similar functions as other heroes, but each character truly does feel unique and bring something different to each match. Let's talk about the roles that are available for you to select with the heroes. So first up, we have Duelists, and these characters tend to focus on the more in-your-face offensive style of gameplay. These are your run and gun characters, and teams will often expect you to lead the charge for each match. Make sure that your aim is good when picking a Duelist, as you're going to need it. Jett, Raze, Phoenix, and Reyna make up the character list for this role. Initiators are up next, and they are akin to scouts, and their abilities are really centered around manipulating enemy movements. Sova and Breach are the only 2 initiators that you can select, and they actually play a bit differently. So Sova excels in reconnaissance and displaying enemy positions on the map, whereas Breach's specialty lies in crowd control and flushing out enemies from their hiding spots. Next up, Sentinels are going to focus on defensive abilities and also healing. Now, they are super useful when making a defensive stand on a spike or just slowing down the opposing team. Currently, Sage and Cypher are the 2 characters that you can select as Sentinels, and they're expected to be masters of communication. Now, you're not going to be expected to top the scoreboards, but you will be expected to be a team player and assist the other roles. And last up, we have Controllers. Now, these characters shine when disrupting the enemy's visibility and providing cover fire for other players. Their abilities pair up very well when running with the Duelist once they've exhausted their smoke screens, as they can also work to frag the enemy and get up close. Currently, Omen, Viper, and Brimstone are the 3 characters who are assigned to this role. Many pro players consider the perfect team makeup to be composed of 2 Sentinels, 1 Controller, 1 Initiator, and 1 Duelist. At the time of this recording, there are currently 2 different game modes that you can select: Spike Rush and Unranked Matches. Now, you do have the ability to set up a custom game as well, but you're only going to be able to create an Unranked match or Spike Rush. So let's break it down and see what these game modes are all about. Let's start off by talking about Unranked. Now, Unranked is the traditional game mode in Valorant, and these matches do take a longer time to finish, as the first team with 13 wins takes it all. Now, between rounds, you can actually spend the money that you've earned on weapons, abilities, and even armor. And you'll have the option in this game mode to be a bit more strategic with your approach to defending and attacking. And we've also got word that ranked mode has been confirmed to be dropping in only a few weeks, so make sure that you practice in unranked mode now. Spike Rush, on the other hand, is a much quicker game than your traditional unranked match. Now, in this mode, every player on the attacking team has a spike that they can plant, and it's the best out of 7 rounds that wins. Everyone on each team is given a random weapon to use, and basic abilities are refreshed automatically each round as well. Now, there are also 3 to 5 power-up orbs that are randomly placed on the map, and these do give a significant advantage to players that pick it up. At the time of this recording, Valorant currently has 4 different maps that you can fight across. Those are Bind, Haven, Split, and Ascent, with more planned in future updates. The game also has a variety of weapons that you can select from, which include 5 sidearms, 2 submachine guns, 2 shotguns, 4 rifles, 2 sniper rifles, 2 heavy guns, and of course, your tactical knife. Going into this game, you have to realize that it is definitely intended to be a tactical competitive shooter. Folks who are expecting the fast-paced run-and-gun gameplay of Overwatch might be in for a bit of a shock, as the gameplay more closely resembles CSGO gameplay, but not entirely. Now, the hero abilities and composition of your team will define what strategy options are available to you, and optimizing your team is just as important as getting kills. Now, while it is true that suboptimal teams can still win, focusing on strategy is also an important part to being successful in Valorant. Combat is still fast-paced and very fun, but the game is exponentially more enjoyable when you team up with players who actually know what they're doing. Now, this isn't a team deathmatch game, and it does require a bit more thought than to just run out of the gate firing, unless of course you're a duelist. The game has received mixed reviews, and I encourage you to play the game for yourself and reach your own conclusions about it. I've logged roughly 30 hours into the game so far, and I've thoroughly enjoyed my time in Valorant. If you go into the game with the expectation that this game is highly competitive and more closely aligned to CSGO gameplay, I'm sure that you'll have a great time. As with any competitive tactical shooter, the more time you invest to brush up on your skills, the better you'll perform in matches, and the more success you'll have in Valorant. And that will do it for my review of Valorant, so don't forget to get your daily dose of karma by liking the video. Go ahead and sub to the channel if you like what you see, and let's talk about Valorant in the comments below. Do you enjoy the game? Do you not enjoy the game? What's going on? Let's talk about Valorant. See you next time.